So what we have here today, Undercover Innovations. I saw somebody had installed these on the 67 to 72 Chevy Truck Facebook page and decided I liked the look and I liked the feature that this will give me. So I want to try these out. So this is the, like I said, Undercover Innovations panels, and these go on either side of the hood latch. And one of the things I never liked about these trucks is that the air can come back around the hood to the radiator, so that heat recirculates. This will make it so when it's drawing air through the front, it's pretty much solely draws it through the grill. It's kind of a defect in these things. It just doesn't. There isn't really a dam there to prevent that from happening. So I figured I'd give these a shot. We'll see how well they fit. They make them in a couple different colors. I got the black ones. I think they make them in a polished or chrome. I forget. But you know, we'll just do a quick install on these and see how they work out. So here they are, real quick, just out of the plastic. I did order the one that's for AC because my truck's an AC truck. I'm not sure if I needed that or not because I have a vintage AC or vintage air AC system and the components are a little bit different. But this looks about where that's at. I'm not sure if it would have cleared with or without it. So anyways, looks like they're just nice aluminum panels. You know, there's not really anything super special here. So I don't know if they were worth exactly how much they were. I think this was about 100 and change or so. So I guess that's probably about right. So let's mock these up, see what they look like. A good portion of why I do these videos is so that you guys can learn something. So if you go to do it, you don't step into the same hole that I did. Now, I didn't really step into a hole here, but it's something that I suspected may be an issue. You'll notice that this is where the AC slot is. I didn't really need this hole because this is where the factory dryer would be. You'll notice mine's right here. Now, I'm going to have to move my plug. If you've got, depends on how you set it up. If you've got vintage air like I do, you know, you may have wired it in a way where your plug might be in the way. Oh, I guess it doesn't normally have a plug here. I put this weather pack connector in and pin this so it would be nice. But I'm just gonna have to move that down a little bit. But it will clear. I was looking at it. It's below the height, so this will close. So you don't need the AC one. You certainly don't need the AC one with the if you have a vintage air. But if you have a standard air, you know, original AC, yeah, you do need that. All right, let's see if we can make some quick work of this. So I'm going to go ahead and it looks as though you just take the bumpers off. I'm going to try and keep the height the same. So I'm just loosening it right now. And and I remembering things now. This one I had to put a nut on the bottom of it. The nut in the support failed some years ago, and I just put a nut and a bolt on the bottom of it. So just want to keep the elevation the same. That way I'm not redoing it. So that's got to come off of there. I've got to clip this off, and I need to take those 3 bolts out. So let's pop these guys off right quick. I'm trying to remember if there's other nuts under here. There may be. So far, so good. Well, that's about par for the course. That's what I get for trying to be fancy. And I'll be lucky if this all lines up correctly afterwards too. Now, since I don't really care how this is going to look under here, what I'll do is just let this kind of float underneath here. There's enough lead left on here. It'll be fine. Just needed a little extra clearance. That should clear. And it's interesting, if you look at the way that they've done this, it's really thin material. This is like a tab right here, and it's meant to bend, so you can form it. You can kind of form it how you need. So before I go and bend this thing into place, I'm going to just double check the instructions, make sure I'm not missing anything. Alright, so they do include a couple things here. There wasn't anything magical in the instructions either. But they do include some edge molding. And I'm sorry, I know the light, the shadows is really bad today. It's just the time of day. They want you to put it on the upper edge here up against the core support. It's just where they tell you to put it. If I wanted to get real fancy, I guess I go all the way around. They tell you, and by the way, they do tell you to remove one bolt at a time. I happen to know I've taken all the bolts out of this hood latch before and I can get it to line up. It might be better for you though. You know, you might want to consider only doing 2 bolts at a time. You know, maybe do this upper one over here. Maybe do this upper one over here, you know, last. That's why they leave this so you can bend it. So anyways, I'm just going to cut a piece of this and I'll put it on the top of this right here. I call it edge molding. I think if you look in McMaster-Carr's catalog, where you can get a lot of this stuff, this kind of hardware stuff, I think that's what they call it, trade name. So I'll just go all the way around and I'm just going to insert this and I'm going to cut it on the end right here. Okay, so the only issue that I'm going to run into is, see, I got a nut and a bolt here, and I really wish I'd have put a riv nut in here, and I have riv nuts and I could do it, I suppose. I might try to. Matter of fact, I may do that now. I may regret it later. If I just put it right in here, then I won't be able to get it apart later. But I may do that because I can't put this on and get my hand down in there to do it. So, you know what? I think I know why I didn't put a riv nut in there, because this is 3/8 and I think my riv nuts only go up to 5/16. So I might be kind of hosed. Might be kind of hosed here just a little bit. I'm going to have to try and figure out how to get this in there and get my hand down in there. And once I get it started, it'll be all right. But let me see if I can't do that. Okay, that was fun. So I got the nut on there. Look, repair this correctly if you have that problem, because otherwise you're going to end up screwing around with it. All right. They give you some plastic washers they want you to use. It keeps it from scratching this up. So you put those underneath the head of the... These are body style bolts. You know, they call them body bolts. So anyways, we're just going to see if we can't get these in. And like I said, the way the panel's designed, it's designed to kind of move around. We got the first one started in the center there. I have to find the lost bolt as well. This one is a little bit of an alignment problem, I can see. So we're going to do the right thing and just ram it in with the air ratchet. Or the electric ratchet. Just going to give it a go. Perfect. Alright, and let me find the lost bolt. Okay, now that we've retrieved the last body bolt that I dropped, just insert it here. Feels like it's going in decently. So far so good. So the only thing I have left to do is just tighten this guy up, and I'm going to fight with that for a while, I'm sure. But the way that it works, they've crimped it here so that it forms to this corner. I don't know if you can see that or not, but they've done this cutout right here. It's designed especially because they know that every single one of these isn't the same. So pretty painless though so far. So let me get this tightened up and then we'll move on to the other side. Alright, so I've gone and taken the 2 bolts out. This one, I had a nut and a bolt on the bottom. I'm not sure what it would have had originally. I forget, it's been too many years. I think that it had like a body style bolt, one of those U-bolts that goes on here. I had just put a nut and a bolt on it. Probably didn't have the right thing. That sounds about right. So we got the panel here. I got the hood stop off. A lot easier when you don't have a nut on the bottom of it. And I put the edge molding on it if I didn't mention that already. We're going to test fit it up here. And the one thing that I can say for these so far that I've noticed is they've designed it in a way that really does allow it. They know that none of this geometry is perfect, and they've designed it in a way to accommodate this geometry not being perfect. You know, some stuff you go to fit it up and it just doesn't fit unless everything's exactly factory specs. They've put these reliefs in here. They've made this bend. They've made this bend over here. So I think that's pretty neat. You know, they get kind of an A+ there for thinking of those things. A lot of aftermarket stuff, you buy it and it just isn't that way. It's just not that way at all. So get this down just a little bit here. It's a lot easier, I'll tell you that. And then this looks like I am going to be able to get this where it needs to go. It's going to be a little bit tight, and I might have to finesse this one just a little bit. But that's kind of the cool thing about having the proper body bolts, is it can be off and they're threaded, and you just kind of drive them home. Let's see how much I screw this up by make me eat my words here, but maybe not. Nope. So that worked out. Get the nut and the bolt on the bottom of this guy. This I should be able to get from the front here. I might have to start it by hand, but I can get it from the front. First dropping parts. Nope. Might have to get my wrench on this. For right now, that just gets it going. Let's see if we can't get this one in. See, like I said, oh, you know what? I forgot to put the plastic washer on it. I've already scratched it. Wonderful. Hopefully this will hide it. But it does fit. I mean, it fits really well. There. Alright, we can tighten the rest of these up. This one, I have to get my wrench on the bottom of that one, but that's pretty much it. So I didn't change the height on this one much. I probably won't have to adjust it if at all. Just tighten it down a little bit. I'll check the I will check the height of the hood bump stops when I close it. Just try and get it up against it. What I'm doing is I'm holding the top of this so that the whole thing turns. I want to turn the whole thing because I don't want the nut going down and tightening it. Then the bump stop will be higher. I don't even know if you can see that right now. Can you? Almost. Here, let's get you a little bit better than that, huh? There. That's a little bit better, isn't it? Like I said, I'm holding the rubber and I'm turning this nut to turn the whole thing. There. I kept my height the same. That one I'm going to have to play with over there on the passenger side. But, I mean, how long did this take? 5 minutes? And it looks pretty darn good. Make sure that this edge molding, it kind of came off. I'm going to have to... If I was really doing this right, I would have put a little contact cement underneath there. And I may still. But overall, it came out pretty good. Let's get a shot of the whole thing. So there it is installed. And I'll have to, like I said, tighten that one up a little bit. But you know, super easy to do. I think it cleans it up a lot. It definitely keeps it from pulling air over the top here. We want it pulling air through the front. I think that's pretty sexy. It definitely an improvement. Easy to install. I kind of give it probably an A. You know, I think the quality is pretty good. It's a little thin, but I guess it kind of needs to be. You know, I may have to put some more edge molding on here because what we don't want is that going on. So I have more of that edge molding. I just keep that stuff around. But this one seems like it's pretty good. But yeah, we might have to. Of course, when I tighten this down, that may go away. But anyways, that's just a quick one on putting the Undercover Innovations, I believe. Undercover Innovations, I think it is. Putting those covers on a 67 through 72 Chevy truck.